Okay, so we're recording. And that's, so we'll post it that way. If you have any questions later that were maybe asked here and you want to go back, you can watch it. There's no requirements or anything. It's also for the alternate assignment when people can't make either session, then they're required to go back and watch it. So if you don't think it's fun sitting through it, it's even less fun watching it. But that's the alternate assignment that they take notes just to kind of let us know what's going on and that sort of thing. But so this week, weeks 4 and 5 are combined. So I know there was a little bit of misunderstanding with the key points. So last week, if you didn't do a key point, you're not late or losing points or anything else. You can finish it up this week. And then you're done with key points. And week 4 was the last quiz. So, yay! Now we're pretty much going to be working in our development courses. So each week you'll learn about a new tool, new features, and you guys get to incorporate all that into Blackboard. This synchronous session also lets you kind of meet some of your classmates in an online environment. There's so it's very asynchronous. So we like to get everybody together. We like to see y'all as well. I'm teaching freshmen this semester too, face-to-face. So I go from them to grad students. It's very, very different, but I love the face-to-face classes as well. So this is fun for us to get to see everybody. Hey, Jennifer, can you hear us? Try to make sure everybody can hear. So I just want to see if you guys have any questions. Because usually if you have a question, somebody else probably has the same question, or it's something that's pertinent to kind of what everybody's doing.
Yes, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, my name's Leslie Condit, and I finished my soft chalk lesson. I was going to go ahead and use it in my 5th grade English language arts class. It's over plot. And I put it in the zipped folder. And what I've noticed when I put it in the zipped folder, all the files are dispersed. So there's like tons of different files in there.
Yes.
Supposed to be that way.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I was like, oh, goodness.
Yeah, and it's kind of like if you know the old school PowerPoints,
Yeah.
package it all together. So that's what it does, is it kind of packages it, and as long as everything is kept in that same folder, then it will find it when it's going through and playing your soft chalk. So if you have like any widgets in there or activities, any of the building type things, yes, then it'll find it.
That's great to know. Thank you.
Yes. And that's really a great tool for you guys. You guys get to use Tarleton's subscription and create that soft chalk lesson. And then once we're done with the course, you'll have access for a while to your Blackboard course. But if you want access permanently, then you can move it over to Blackboard Course Sites, which is the free version, the free web version of Blackboard. So we'll post information about that towards the end of the course. But that's an option. So keep that in your mind. If you're trying to like duplicate things or anything, you don't have to do that, because we'll actually help you move it over so that you can keep it.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I created it today during my off periods. But how much information do I need to put in there? Because I mean, I have like a ton, but like not a lot.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
It is your course, so we kind of leave this creative freedom open. We want to see that you're using the tools. And if you notice in our soft chalks, sometimes there's a ton of information. There might be 8 or 9 pages, and then other weeks there's just a few. So it really is dependent upon your lesson and how you want to integrate it in. It's mainly to give you some practice with using the tools.
Perfect.
So I struggle with that too, with the creative freedom. I love creative freedom when I'm just creating something, but when it's for a grade, I'm like, tell me what to do. Give me the guidelines. So I feel y'all, and I understand that, but we want you to create something that's meaningful to you, hopefully that you can use either in your class, or if you're not in a classroom, professional development wise, or something that's useful to you. other questions or anything going on with any issues? We got the server information, so I don't see Ken on here yet, but he started really early. And so that first day, which was good because we figured out that server information wasn't out there if you wanted to put it into your course. You guys send me the files, that way I have them and can look through, and then we'll put some examples of exemplary ones out there. And don't feel like if yours isn't put out there that yours is not great. We can just choose a couple, and we try to make it something that's fairly relevant. So they're all looking really good so far, the ones that I've gotten in thus far. And I'm grading the key points. So the first round of key points, some people freaked out, and that's just a portion of your grade. So it's all 4 key points wrapped up into one grade, and that's just a percentage of the total grade. So if you didn't do so hot, I tried to give good feedback on the first one, and then I'm grading week 3, which was your second key point entry. So for week 4/5, you have until this Sunday to complete that. So if you completed it and you want to add to it or anything, I'm not going to even start grading those until next week. That way everybody has until Sunday night to finish and then comment and all that. We know it's stressful for you in classrooms, the beginning of the school year and everything. So that's why we combined this week, because you're using so many tools and, trying to get things going. So I'm not putting off grading them. I just want to give everybody an opportunity to finish up or edit, do anything that you want to do before the deadline. So, and then I usually do a couple days after. What's that? I don't know if somebody asked a question or if there's just feedback. Okay.
Generally, everything takes place.
Sorry, I think it's me. My computer.
That's okay.
What's happening on your screen?
Hey, Natalie. Hey, how are you?
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
I'm doing well. We had an event tonight, so I'm running a little bit behind.
Okay. That's okay. That's no problem. This one is for a grade, so you'll get points for participating tonight. I kind of take down all the names and take a screenshot, and then, I'll save that, and then you'll get your points, so you don't have to worry about any of that.
Thank you.
And I don't know if you've got yours in the view. If you joined us for the initial synchronous session, which was optional, up at the top right, there's different views. So I've got you right now in gallery view, where you can kind of see everybody. It looks like the Brady Bunch style.
I see you now. Hello, everybody.
Like 15 tiles. That's why I was trying to say hi to everybody. And I really don't know. We've done like 30 people before, and it will go to 2 screens. It might just be 16 people that'll fit on one screen before it goes to a second screen. But it's kind of nice rather than just seeing the speaker real big or just a couple people. So there's some different options. And this is a great tool. We've talked about, we show you Jing and Google Hangouts, but when I do short video lessons, I use Zoom because it's free up to 45 minutes, and you can record your screen and share your screen, so you can show people like whatever you're doing on your screen. You can also have yourself talking in the little box, or you can take the video off completely. So that's just a nice kind of workaround for a free screencasting option if you use it anyway. And it's got really good the video and everything has always been good. Google Hangouts has given us some issues recently with the effects and that sort of thing. And when people are talking, it kind of looks like a Japanese movie where their mouth is moving and then the voice. We always laugh. But so other questions or comments, anything that you're struggling with?
So Julie, last week we saw a lot of tools that we can use for engagement with students, and and the text really looked at the discussion boards, the blogs, and the wikis. Those collaborative types of tools.
Mhm.
But I haven't ever made use of blogs or wikis really. How do you use those? What sort of activities come to mind that make those a valuable tool?
So for the wikis, what we're doing now in the key point entries with the Google Docs, that's a wiki. The Blackboard wiki, and I've got Justin on here. I haven't heard him talk yet. I see he's muted, but he's our Blackboard support guy, and he is awesome, and we love Blackboard. But Blackboard wikis, at least in the past, has had some limitations where multiple people couldn't be in there editing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant that multiple people can edit, but they just couldn't be in at the same time. So we use Google Docs because you can be in there editing all at the same time. If you've noticed in your Google Doc, you might see other people logged in at the same time. Now they might just be logged in and have left it up on their screen, but you can actually be in there typing at the same time, entering information in different places and that sort of thing. You can type over each other as well. So we use the wiki function. We just use a different element. We have used Blackboard Wiki several times in other classes and even in this class before, just to collaborate and use it so that everybody can enter information in one place and create a strong, full document. Blogging is a little different. That's where you enter information and you put it out there for people, and then they can go in and reply to specific blog posts. So it's more like, I kind of compare it to like social media, where you enter something in and then people can just read it or they can comment on it and reply. In a wiki function, you're kind of completing a document, and you can comment like in Google Docs out to the side, but you're not then editing the full document when you're commenting. Whereas on a blog post, there's the post, and then underneath you're going to have replies and different options. A lot of people blog about specific subjects, and so it's kind of a continuous blog, and we'll we can look at samples of those.
So the blogging conversation is really the instructor putting his or her thoughts out there, seeking replies from the student, whereas the wiki is more of everybody piling in to contribute to a product, if you will.
Yes, and on the blogs, students could contribute as well, but it's typically like a person's blog. There are classroom blogs, and I've used that in some different classes before. We have the Google community, which isn't considered technically a blog, but that's kind of more blog-like because, I post something or you post something, and then we can reply to that specific post. So it's very post-driven, but you can go in and look at the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, and so blogging and discussion forums then kind of seem to meld together for my understanding.
They do. The discussion boards kind of have, you create a thread and you go in and you have to look at a specific thread at a time, at least in the Blackboard form. On blogs, you can go in and you can see the whole thing. You can reply to specific blogs, but you can see the whole post or posts that have been on there, if that makes sense. With discussion boards, you kind of have to look at
just a different user experience.
Yes.
You see everything in a blog versus discussion board. You have to open it up and click through and that sort of thing. Do wikis afford a grading opportunity? Have you seen that used as a gradable?
Yes, and that is a really good point in Blackboard.
Aside from ours.
Yes.
In other ways.
With ours, I go through and I actually physically count, how many posts did you do? Did you reply to 3 people? In Blackboard, that's one of the big pluses is you can go in and on the grading side, you can see how many times somebody participated either in a discussion board or a wiki or a blog, all of it. And because you log in and it counts, every time you post something. So that's the one plus in Blackboard. With all of their tools is that they can it helps you grade a little more efficiently. The key points take, like today, I'm not whining about that. But it takes, several hours because you have to go through and physically count and look and, go back and forth. But we come up with some really great documents and content to share with the whole class. So for us, it's, it's a plus. And we have those documents forever. And you can go back, like all of our classes can go back and pull from that. And they've actually done that in the past because of all the related resources and that sort of thing. Once they're shared with you for good. We keep all those archived in our drive, and you guys have access.
So then wikis really give you an added benefit in terms of being able to save or archive those, whereas perhaps blogging and discussion boards, and correct me if I'm wrong, don't necessarily allow that capture.
It depends on what software you're using. There's a lot of online free bloggers, blogger.com.
True. Yeah.
Those sorts of things. And they'll give you so much room for free or, provide different options. But it really depends on what you're doing, what you're using.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question.
Yeah.
My question is, with me teaching 5th grade, due to privacy laws and everything, I was trying to figure out on how I could do the Google Doc wiki in my 5th grade English Language Arts class. Do you have anything that I could do because I know they had to have an email address.
Mm-hmm. It depends on your school district at that point. If you have, like, when I worked in Granbury ISD, I don't know if anybody's on here from Granbury, they're a Google school. So they use the school email and they make those Gmail accounts. It's still not at gmail.com. They leave it at granburyisd.net, I think. It's been a few years. But that's their Gmail account. And so that's how they use it. And we use it actually from pre-K up because they would go in and, do Google Drawings and play with all the Google tools. So it's a really good experience. That whole age 13 deal is hard because they can't do a lot of online accounts until then. So it's kind of up to the school district at that point to, if they have a school district email or if your school's willing with parent permission, that sort of thing.
Okay. Thank you.
I did see a chat session. And I want to be clear on this. It says the journal entries are private between instructor and student. Natalie, are you talking about the key point entries?
Okay, I'm unmuted.
Okay.
I created, I used our Blackboard at work, and I told students that journal is private because they're supposed to attend events, and they're supposed to tell me what they learned at the event and how they apply it to their life. So I told them if they didn't want to share it with the class, they could do a journal. But the blog is there if they wanted to share with their peers.
Okay, and for the journal, did you use like a discussion board or?
The Blackboard feature that said journal.
Okay.
Even in the description, it says that it was private between instructor and student.
Yes, and I've only played with that a little bit. I'm sorry, I think we thought you were talking about the key point entry. So
okay.
Anybody that's in your group can see that. So,
right.
But yes, the journal feature, and Justin, if you can hear us, I know you're on the line, is private between you and the student.
I might be breaking up because I'm actually on the road. That's kind of fun. But there's a setting in there, if left unchecked, it will stay private, but you can actually make journals public as well. The default's private.
Okay, thank you. I did check that setting, but I haven't been able to test it yet because we just had our final orientation, so yeah.
That's awesome that you're using it and doing some of the different tools. Like I've played with it, just inserting and testing some things, but I've never actually used it in a class. So that's cool.
My struggle is all of you are teachers and you have curriculum. With my program, it's more I find instructors that are expert in the field and they teach that one course. So as we're going through, my program is still going, but I'm trying to learn how to do modules for the instructors and like our project for this class, we're doing one module, but just, I guess picking a topic and creating a full module about it. That's what.
And your module doesn't, I know this was asked in some of the emails and stuff, your module can be a 6 weeks module, or it can be a 1 week module. It does not have to be a full semester or 6 weeks, 9 weeks, however your grading periods go. You'll do a syllabus that kind of outlines the whole semester or whatever, but you're actually only building one module, like one lesson. So you don't have to, I don't want to say go easy, but it's very inclusive. It's just you're not building it out, because this takes us, weeks to build a full course or a full, semester. So I hope that helps a little bit. You're doing the syllabus and the course schedule and that sort of thing for the whole semester, but you're not actually doing that many assignments. And that's what you're welcome to add as much as you want, but the requirement is that you do kind of one, like a weekly module or a, however long your assignment would go.
Julie, you said that we could do a professional development series for others as well. And so, Natalie, if you've got instructors that you're handling, coordinating, whatever, then perhaps developing a professional development series for them.
Okay.
Would
fit. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I don't know if you guys have seen, we're going to be doing, this is new this semester for us, so we're excited. We're going to integrate Google Classroom into your modules that you're using. So those of you who are at schools that have gone Google, we're going to use Google Classroom. If you're not at a school that uses Google Classroom, we'll give you, your login will work for it. We don't have it all set up quite yet. It's going to be in week 12, I believe. So if you are using Google Classroom now, you're welcome to stick with what you've got. You don't have to create anything new, but we'll just kind of learn how to integrate that sort of thing into Blackboard. So we're excited about that. We finally signed the Google contract here at Tarleton, and we have access to everything at this point. So it's really exciting for us.
How low, what grade would Google Classroom go to?
Google Classroom is really open for any Google user. So you just have to, the district has to sign a contract with Google. It's still free, but they have to become a GAFE school, the Google Apps for Education. So Tarleton had not done that in the past. We used Google Tools, but we couldn't have access to Google Classroom without signing that agreement with them. So
because we use Google Classroom, but this year I'm teaching second grade, and our tech people have told us that we can't use it below 4th grade, and I just disagree with that.
Oh, yeah. That might be your district rule. You can.
She just says that they can't handle it, and I just disagree, and I'm wanting to change that. So other people, because I'm trying to.
Yeah. What district are you with again?
Well, I'm in a private school.
Okay. Okay.
And so they're saying that they can't handle having an email or having to be able to log in, and I just disagree.
Oh yeah, because I know lots.
So these kids know how to log in, and they know how to do that.
Oh yeah, and lots of elementary schools are using it. Hannah, are you?
My first graders use it, and it was a headache to do it the first time, but after that, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah. Okay. Do they all have a Google login? I mean, a Gmail login?
We have I'm at Stephenville, and so they have the sfield.us that's linked to it.
Okay. So that's what we're trying to figure out, because that's what I want to tell them is how other schools do it. So that's what I can find out.
Yeah.
I'm determined. I am determined to figure this out because I know it's possible.
Right.
So,
Mindy, were you
for the school? And I know there's issues with younger kids having an email address,
right?
Wise, and so it may be that they can't have an email address, but they can still have a Gmail login or have a login that allows them to use Google Tools. And I mean, I have a 6th grader that's using Google Classroom, and she loves it. And I think it's so user friendly that I think 2nd graders can totally handle it. You just set it up to what their abilities are.
Right. Okay, well, that's what
I think you're right. I think it's a good fight. I think you should fight for them to get to use it.
Oh, well, now that I know that other people do it, because I know there's got to be, they're only the fourth, fifth, and sixth do it. And she goes, we're going to try to bring it down to third. And I'm like, well, what about second? And I'm only in second right now while I'm working on grad work, because I said it'd be easier for you. I'm like, put me back up in the upper grades while I do this. Anyway, so I'm like, now that you've moved me to second, you've got Google Classroom, but now so no, I'm not accepting that. So.
Dawn, you might want to talk, Stephenville, I'm real familiar with, that's where my children have gone as well. And
Okay.
Shelby Womack, he is the technology director. He's probably going to kill me for putting any more work on him, but I'm sure he'd be glad to share information, about how they have done that and incorporated it.
Okay.
Yes.
Womack, W-O-M-A-C-K?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Okay.
Hannah and Mindy, don't tell him I told everybody that. He's great to work with. He's great, and he's done a phenomenal job of turning the technology around at Stephenville. I know you two can probably agree with that.
My husband's boss, so.
Yeah.
So I didn't give you his name, but.
Yes.
I got it off of the internet.
Very
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Thank you.
So how are your tools going, everybody else? Is there things going good? I see some head nods. Everybody's sleepy and just tired and sinusy. Everybody wanted fall weather until it got here, and then it just kind of took us all down.
I did see that Dr. Baker had where she went to Microsoft Office to find clip art. And so I went, and it looks like they don't have it anymore. They just tell you to go to Creative Commons. Is that correct?
Okay, I'm in Microsoft here. It's very different now. When you go to insert pictures, and let's see. No, that's not it.
I was really interested because last week y'all showed where you could get clip art and tear it apart. But our office, I guess our office license doesn't have the clip art with it.
Okay.
So like I went to there's no clip art for me to look at. So then I thought, I can go to Microsoft's page and get it there, but it looks like it just needs you to create a.
Yeah, it even looks different like now, and they update our stuff because there's online pictures and pictures. It used to have an option, and it would take you out to Microsoft Clip Art Online, and it's not doing that. Like as of
Baker had a video, and I was trying to follow it exactly. I'm like, my screen doesn't look like hers. And
yeah, and the video might be a little older, but we're on the new like 365, so we get updates all the time, and they push them. And it's not the same as it was because I use that a lot. So now I'm a little concerned with the.
I was excited. I was like, oh, I can get free clip art. And then,
yeah, it sends you out to online pictures, and mine is doing like a Bing image search, which I don't even have Bing downloaded.
But it's like you're going through Bing to get to Creative Commons.
Yes, yes. So, thanks, Mindy. That's different. We're gonna have to update that.
It didn't keep me from doing anything I was doing, but
yeah.
I was hoping you'd tell me, no, click here, and you can.
Yeah, no, unless they have moved it. So I'm gonna put that in my notes to check on, but I'm not seeing it offhand unless they've hidden it. A lot of times they say they're making it more user friendly, and it probably is eventually, but up front it's like, no, that's not where it used to be. So
probably it's just easier and more legal or something that it's. I'd rather you go to Creative Commons and get your stuff than use their clip art. But.
Yeah, I wonder what they did with all that though.
I know.
So an app that may be useful for that purpose, for clip art, as well as for whatever wording or phrases or whatever you want to write on it. Adobe has Spark Post, and I don't know if that's if it's available in Android, but I've got it on my iPad, and it's a really useful tool for quickly putting together typewritten messages that have great visuals on the back of it, and it's got a lot of clip art that's freely accessible for that Spark post.
Okay.
Awesome. And if some of you have taken the free class, one thing we didn't do in the past in this class is do like a resource repository. So we have all of the different key point entries, and you can see your teams, but you can't see the other teams. So what I'm going to do this semester is put together another resource repository, which is like a Google Sheet, and then you can go in and post resources that you like. And it doesn't have to be stuff you've used in your key point, but anything with instructional design or anything you've learned in here, or that like Harry, what you just gave her. It's not going to be a requirement, but it's just a nice resource that's shared out then, and everybody can kind of, work together, because I'm not the expert by any means. I learn from y'all every single day. I love reading your key point entries and then how you apply it in your teaching situation. So that's always what's really great for us as instructors, to see, how it's being applied, especially in the K-12 arena or professional development, something other than higher ed, how we use it on a daily basis. So that's great.
Is it part of Adobe Spark?
It's probably something like that. The one that I've got is listed as Spark Post.
I'll look at. I used Adobe Voice last year, and then this summer they converted it to Adobe Spark, and I know it has a whole lot more utilities, and I haven't touched it. But we're about to start a project where we need Adobe Voice, so I'm going to have to learn Adobe Spark.
The app that I've got on my iPad it's pretty simple to pick up and use, and has some pretty good functions. But even if the functions, you don't use those, it just has a wealth of clip art available to you as well.
Thank you.
So I'm looking, and if anybody has a question, you can jump in. I'm looking, we're in week 5, so we're doing our synchronous session. You're experimenting with some advanced tools. Next week, week 6 and 7 are combined as well, and that's when you're going to, do your activities of creating the syllabus, outline, and map, which you can see the examples in our course that we've created. This was the first year I used Google Drawings for the map. Dr. Baker used to hand draw it out, and then whenever something changed, she'd either have to white it out or, do something. But it was very authentic then because she drew it. So I don't have as good of handwriting as she does. So I went ahead and used Google Drawing, and then I can go through and change it. You can print it, and it prints in a nice format, that sort of thing. So you're welcome to use whatever tools or formats you want. It's very, very free in this course. Like, you can do whatever kind of creative freedom you want to use. That scares some people, like we talked about earlier. But just get creative. Week 8 is the cool part. You start your partner feedback. So you'll get grouped into a partner. So we'll choose a partner for you in the class. And you guys will look at each other's course each week and kind of give feedback to one another. And then towards the end of the course, you will do a peer review of someone else's course. And the reason we change partners is because you guys work kind of together, and you give, it's kind of like your next door neighbor in your office. You guys give each other a lot of feedback. And so you've kind of helped build their course, so to speak. You've been with them for most of it. So you kind of know. So then we partner you with someone else, where somebody else has helped them and given them feedback, and you're seeing it fresh in a complete final view, and then you give them a review of their course. So you're going to see 2 different people's courses in here, and then you'll see some exemplary Blackboard examples from other people across the country. We pull some of those out, and you'll get to look at those. And then 2 people will be looking at your course as well. So it's really a good thing. I know some of you are like, oh, that's not good. Along with Dr. Baker and I. So we use it in, such an intense manner all the time that it's nice to have those peer feedbacks as well, people who maybe don't know the ins and outs of Blackboard. So if we can't see something, we know probably a workaround to get to it. Now, whoever's partnered with Justin is, I don't know, that's kind of a, you're going to get really good feedback because he is our Blackboard guy, but it's going to be Justin, I'm just picking on you. So that's, it's a really good thing. He'll have all the knowledge and information. He knows more about Blackboard than probably Dr. Baker and I put together, but it's just nice to have that fresh set of eyes that can see. If you, as an instructor view, if you don't open something or make something available, you can always see it, but then your students cannot. So that's always something that's, people are like, no, I have it in there. It's there when I look in there. So that student preview is your friend. That way you can go in as a student and see everything. And different browsers are different. Justin, are you guys still recommending Firefox?
We actually talked about that today. We're going to go ahead and lift the Google Chrome. So Chrome and Firefox are going to be the go-tos. We were going against Chrome because of the third-party plugins, but that's not an issue really this semester since Collaborate 100% Java free. So
right.
I think we can use both.
Awesome. That's great because for the class at least, we require Chrome with all the Google tools. That's how you get full functionality. So to be able to use Chrome with your when you look at Blackboard as well, that's nice because to have to switch browsers is just a pain to do that all the time. So I don't see any notes in here, so I'm going to keep going. You guys will just kind of do feedback. The quizzes are over after the week 4 quiz, and then you have there's 4 key points, which will be done after this week. If you didn't do it last week, be sure you post by Sunday of this week. And then you'll just kind of go and develop your course further and further and give feedback to your partner. Week 12, we'll do Google Classroom, and we'll also interact with experts. So I've got some feelers out for some experts that'll come in, and what we've typically done in the past is a discussion board where you'll post some questions and then they'll go in and answer at their leisure. Last semester, we were really fortunate. It was in 5354. We had Dr. Bonk, who had spoke at Tarleton State University, and he went ahead and joined us on a Zoom session and was able to talk to everyone and answer questions. So we won't have him again, but if we can find somebody that would be willing to do that would be beneficial for everyone, we could make that an option. It will not be a required, don't freak out, there won't be another required synchronous session outside of, what's on the syllabus. We try to really stick to the syllabus because we know you guys have full plates with work and family and everything, but anytime we can give you an opportunity for, an option, then we try to do that as well.
Can I ask about you said that there was no quiz next week, is that correct? For 6 and 7?
The module 4 quiz is the last one. So have you guys taken? Oh
no, you're right. Okay, so there is one. And then
and I might have said that earlier because we're in week 4 and 5, but there is a module.
I think I understood it as week 4 instead of module. I'm sorry.
And I think that's how I said it, and I'm sorry.
And then the other question I have is about the content for creating the lesson, because that's, when last week we had an opportunity to go in and kind of experiment with some things on the actual course. And my main problem was I didn't really know what to put in there,
Yes.
And so we're developing our own course based on just whatever we would like then.
Yes. So if you're not in the classroom, right? Do you teach?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you can use a lesson that you're actually doing in class.
Okay.
So some people are like, well, that just seems too easy, but you're putting it all in Blackboard, and then you're adding some of the different tools and activities and, widgets and that sort of thing. So if you have content, that's what we hope you all have, stick it in there. You're just giving it to students, or you might not be actually using it with your students, but you're offering it in a different mode of presentation, I guess. So
okay.
flipping it, or, depending on what grade level, you can do it. And if you want to do something completely different, that's fine. We've had people who are school teachers, but they want to do a professional development session, and that's fine. That's where it's sticky, because we don't give like, you have to have this, this, and this. It's very, whatever you want to put in there. We just require some of the different tools each week to be used, and, show us that you're using those and experimenting with those sorts of things. But the content is very, because it's going to differ for all of you. All of you teach different grade levels, different content areas. Some of you are higher ed, K-12, some are, I don't know, there are some business people in this course, so they actually don't teach at all. So they're going to use it in a totally different method than what a typical K-12 school teacher would be. And even Mindy, you're a theater teacher, so that's very different than a core content teacher. So it's exciting for us to see all of the different uses, but that's why we try to really open it up and not say you have to have, a 5-question quiz and this and that, because you can use kind of whatever you want to do. And you guys always go overboard and put in more than the requirements, which is great. But everybody that freaks out, those are the people that usually give us like a module that's just jam-packed full of stuff, and it's awesome. It's just funny that the people that are, the most worried are usually the ones that are way, far ahead of the game. So, other questions or comments? No. Everybody looks like sleepy. I'm hoping everybody's had dinner, and not too many of you. Anita, you're still with us, so that's good, I hope. Okay, well, I have 7:40. If you don't have any more questions, then we'll go ahead and wrap up. If any of you have questions you don't want to ask in front of everybody, I'll stay on for a couple minutes. Always feel free to email or post in the Google community. If Dr. Baker, we ask that you copy both of us. She is gone this week. So she'll be back, I think, Saturday. And then Sunday, there will be another Zoom session. If you have questions, you're welcome to pop in. You don't have to sit through the whole thing by any means. You will all get your credit for the class today. And then other than that, I do need to know, I've got a phone on here. Who's calling in? There's no name. It's an 817 number.
I guess you could call them back at that number.
Yeah, I've got the number, so I'll see. I don't know if they.
Oh, it might be.
Yes, whoever.
Because I'm on the cell phone. So
okay. And who is it?
Catherine Jones.
Oh no, Katie, I can see you.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
but I had to call into the number too, and then.
Oh, is your last 4 digits 7158?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Everybody can see it, so I'm not trying to put your number out there. Okay, perfect. That would be a little confusing. Okay, no, that's good to know. All right, well, everybody have a great evening. I hope nobody else gets sick. Anita, I hope you feel better, and thank you all for joining us. You get full points. It was a show up, and I don't want you to think it's a waste of time. It's, so that we can see you face to face, and then if you ever teach online, you can, integrate this into your teaching as well. And I love seeing all of y'all. So have a good evening, and let us know if you have any questions.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Julie, what was the free Blackboard site?
It's called coursesites.com.
Course.
That was my question too.
Yes. Yes. And towards the end of this course, we'll send out instructions on how to, because you don't want to start moving it over beforehand.
No.
We'll send you instructions on how to move it over there. And you get up to 5 free sites under the free login. So it's pretty cool.
And also, Ms. Ward, when I was signing up for the soft chalk, I did it step by step, and it would not let me copy and paste the Tarleton code. So I only have it for free for 30 days.
Oh, okay.
Did you go to the top where it says help?
No, let me get on it. I have my laptop. Hang on.
Are you on a Mac by chance?
I'm on a Dell.
Okay. That should work.
Let me pull it up real quick.
Okay.
Because
sorry.
Because I have 9. Oh, sorry. Did I interrupt someone?
No, you're fine.
So I'm on the soft chalk right now. I pulled up where you get to create and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Go to the top where it says help.
Okay, I see that.
Okay, when it says help, then it'll say something about putting in that code.
It doesn't say that. It says the short video takes only minutes and you'll quickly see. Let me go to the website and see.
Is that the top where you have all that? It's supposed to drop down. It says help, and it should have a place for you to input the code.
Yeah, it says enter license.
Enter license, what it says. Yeah.
Do you have soft chalk open? Soft chalk.
I'm going to the website. I'm not going to the part where you create the lesson. Okay.
It's in the actual soft chalk software. So if you open soft chalk 10, and then
it's soft chalk 9 on mine.
Oh, okay. So it
was soft chalk 9. It was soft chalk 9 on mine too. But
yes.
You go up to help. Yeah.
That's the code because they haven't rolled out 10 yet. So
okay. So I'm on it right now. Okay. You have 29 days to evaluate soft chalk. Okay.
If you click help and then you should see at the very top help and then enter license.
Help. Enter license. Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, that definitely helped me out.
Yes. And then that should give you unlimited, longer than the 30 days because this class will go through December, the very beginning of December. So.
Okay, because my school, I was showing my principals and everything. I was like, we got to start using this. This is amazing.
Yes.
We're using Shobi, TouchCast. We're using a lot of different technologies because we do blended learning station rotations.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, this would be perfect because, whatever center they're in, they can just click on that number. If you're at center 2, the writing center, then you just click on the page and then it pulls it all up.
Yes.
And it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good evening.
You too.
Thanks.
I had a question. I'm on a Mac, and I had a question on setting up the shared server.
Mm-hmm.
Mine went really quick and easy, and I only had like one step. Did I do it wrong? I mean, it was.
No, I'm a Mac user at home, and I think it was a lot easier, which is not always the case with some software, but I think that you're right. So if you have issues, you're not going to get, we're not going to take points off or anything. We'll help you work around that. But I remember when I set up my Mac, it's been a couple years, but I think that it was like a real quick and easy.
It was like 3 clicks, and then it was just there. And then I thought, well, I didn't go through all this. I mean, I know it's not as many steps, but it was super easy. That deal that we did in Blackboard, did you go in and look at the modules we set up and stuff like that, or is that something that, when we shared it with you?
Yes.
Did you go in and look at it?
I opened them and they all opened.
Because that was another thing when I shared. Well, the little toggle bar that you do to tell that you can share it or not, or sharing is on, or something like that. Mm-hmm. Make sure the green button is on. Well, in Mac, it's orange.
Yes, and they actually changed it, so it is now for everyone. So that was our. I put an announcement out, I think, or put it in Google Communities. But yeah, I said orange is the new green. So
okay, that's what that meant. Well, I just was worried because I'm like, why does mine not look like it's supposed to?
Yeah, I tried to be funny, but it probably just confused everybody.
I think I'm too serious.
That's okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Ma'am. Have a good evening. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Thanks, Dawn, for your help with that.
Oh, you're welcome. Good night.
Good night. Lauren, Natalie, did y'all have questions or?
Oh, it's just me.
Yeah.
No, I just want to make sure that I'm on the right track, and I think her question about you being able to see my Blackboard site, that I shared it okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody that's turned theirs in so far is good to go. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, I'm excited, and
Hey, good.
I think I'm okay now. Now that I'll just do one little piece of a module. I think I'll do. There's one class we teach about definitions of leadership.
Uh-huh.
So I think I'll just
good one. Yeah.
I'll just do that one.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yes.
And then Soft Chalk. I have Soft Chalk Cloud.
Okay.
Is that one going to work okay?
It will. Is that something your work pays for, or is
I was very surprised after the summer. I went to work and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try this. And I found out that we do have Soft Chalk Cloud account. So I was able to create a little lesson in Soft Chalk Cloud and pull it into Blackboard.
Okay.
Now I did that in the summer and I only did it once, so I have to do it again.
We do not have Soft Chalk Cloud. So our license is just for the regular. I actually asked Justin this week because I was kind of playing with it. And I thought, oh, this is really cool. And he said, no, we don't have a license for that. So yeah, that's exciting. That's something a little different. And I'd love to see it incorporated. So yeah, that's awesome. That'd be great.
Okay, so should I try? So I need to download Soft Chalk 10, or should I create
Soft Chalk 9? But if you don't want to use that, if you want to use the cloud, since you have access to it, I'd be happy to let you do that. And I think it should integrate into Blackboard because you would be going through your account. So if it doesn't integrate the same way, let us know and we'll see if we can work with that. But yeah, I'd love for you to use the cloud that way because we're looking at pricing now to see about maybe getting some licenses, at least for this class.
Okay.
So yeah, that's exciting.
So I'll try that.
Okay.
And one thing I noticed, and I guess I'll have to talk to my director at work. I manage all the student clubs and organizations, and that's why it's crazy all the time.
Yeah.
We create organization Blackboard accounts. It's different than the, course shell.
Right.
I noticed in this class, the Blackboard, I can change the background. I have all these other.
Yeah.
And so with the organizations, we're limited.
Right.
And so I think I need to ask for a course shell because I've started to offer the classes online instead of just face-to-face. But I don't know how that works with, organization versus.
Right.
Have you dealt with that?
I have been enrolled in organizations and communities and that sort of thing. So I don't know from the administrative side. I've never created them. But Justin Carroll, you can go to the mail tool in Blackboard. And it's Justin Carroll. He's a student in class, but he's also our Blackboard guy. And he's super friendly and loves to share his wealth of knowledge. So he might be a really good contact to ask about if you feel comfortable doing that. And if not, I'll ask him. But yeah, he's great. And he was on the call tonight. So he loves to share that. And so
I will ask him.
Yeah, he's a great source for you. So.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great evening.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.